Hello, magic makers. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this reading is for you. A transmission through the Serpent Gate, a page in the codex, and perhaps a message you were meant to remember. Before we begin, please light the fire and hit the like button. Every like you leave is a torch lit along the spiral road. Every comment is a sigil etched into the vault of echoes. And if this message resonates, consider subscribing and joining our journey through the temple. If there is anything you wish for me to hold in light or carry into the temple with you, prayer, protection, or intention, speak it below. Now, these readings are not predictions, they are transmissions, and I am merely the messenger. The meaning is yours to uncover. Open the temple within and listen for what echoes back, because the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And you are the Knight of Cups. You're on a divine mission. You are a Knight of the Holy Grail. Yeah, I think you're somebody who's very kind. I feel like you're very giving. Right? You're a very affectionate person. I think you like to give and receive love and affection. But I think you're somebody that you tend to pay it forward a lot in life. And I wonder if we had this card for you last reading. I feel like you're the one that kind of like pays for somebody else's coffee, like anonymously, and just kind of sneaks out before they can track you down, because you don't like attention. You don't want somebody that kind of like says, oh, hey, thank you. And you don't want that kind of recognition necessarily, but you want to be kind. It feels good for you to kind of, secretly do kind things for everybody, right? So I feel like you're kind of sneaking around, like, making sure people kind of have what they need, and making sure that they, they get that little confirmation, of that kindness from the universe. Yeah. You're an agent of kindness, really, and I think that you live kind of from the heart. Yeah, probably a very good gift giver. I think sometimes with this card, there's a question of whether you are receiving as much as you're giving. Okay, I don't think that's not really your concern, though. You don't do kind things in the world transactionally, expecting to get something back. This is someone who is kind of giving their gift to the world. You made your crab curry, you made your gumbo, and you're just here wanting to share it with everybody. You want people to hear it. It's your transmission. This is what you are transmitting to the world from your heart. Yeah, I like that. It feels good. Let's put this card into some context, though, okay? Let's see what is going on with you. There we have a very strong Emperor energy. We have an 8 of Wands. We have the Sun. 4 of Cups. 4 of Pentacles. Life is going to start opening up a lot wider than you thought, okay? Yeah, look at that. Now we've got this Leo energy. We have a 2 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords in the position of the mirage, the illusion, okay? And of course, another 4, 4, and 4 of Wands. Now, I feel like life is opening up for you, okay? I feel like what once felt limited is going to start growing real quickly for you, okay? I think that your abundance is going to multiply because you believe in it. Because you believe that it can, because you're operating from a very authentic place. You're giving your gift to the world. Not expecting anything in return, but you're going to get it, okay? For you, growth means leaving your comfort zone, okay? I think that's why we have the 4s, because that's kind of, we're implying the 5, yeah? And so I think that there's a lot of fresh ideas. Okay, I think that you're excited about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff feels possible right now. Things are really expanding. I feel like the future is looking so much brighter than it ever did for you. And it all is because of it's all because of that energy that you have right now, that Knight of Cups energy, that passion, that kindness, that love and affection that you have, the gratitude, the giving nature. Okay? As a ritual for you, I want you to write one desire that you have for you, something you want. Write it on a piece of paper and place it in the moonlight. Okay? Wherever, check the internet or whatever. Whenever there's going to be moonlight at night, right? Put it under the moonlight. One desire for you that you want, okay? Because this is now I think life's going to start granting your wishes. Okay? Support is coming for you because you kind of dare to expand. You're daring to kind of grow. I think you're ready to grow. This is really, really nice. Now, let's draw the hidden key from the codex. This is the unseen cipher, the one truth yet unrevealed. This is a card pulled at random, a fragment of the codex beyond the known spread. It represents the factor infinite and unknown, what the watchers have not yet allowed us to see. And we're going to set it down right over here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. Now, we're not going to release that Kraken until the end of the transmission, but when we do, it will bring all the threads together. It will confirm the prophecy, and it will close the current page of the Codex. If you feel the pulse of intuition, if the dove current is whispering to you, tell me what you sense. Leave a comment. What do you think the hidden key will reveal? Now, as we look around the room, we see enlightenment with the sun. We see discipline and fortitude and a very strong ego. We see a leadership even, and to me this is a servant leader, right? Someone who is leading by what they can offer. This is the boss who is in service to their employees, not someone who just says, "Well, what can you do for me?" You know. And of course, you have your courage, your creativity, your strength, that inner strength. And to me, it feels like it's tied in with that creativity, that you have all these great ideas brewing under the surface and you feel like all of them can be miracles, okay? The problem there is that you've got to choose which ones to manifest first, right? The Four of Wands being that kind of manifestation. You have to think outside the box. You have to pick the idea that you want to run with, and you've got to follow through. Okay, you got to take that fire and you got to manifest it on earth. Okay? And that's the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is fire and earth. Fire, the wands, right? Four, giving us the idea of the four elements, the four directions, the four corners and quarters and all that stuff. So it implies that you're taking that fire and you're completing the process of manifestation. This is the card of completion. Okay? This is the card that's telling me that anything that you try to do right now is going to get done. Yeah. The Four is also reminding us of temporary stability. The Fours are really an illusion of stability. It's kind of a campfire, you know? You find a place, clear out all the debris, pick some rocks and some stones, and you make a little circle. You get the wood, get the little sticks, get the kindling, give it the spark. Sometimes you got to strike it a couple times. It ignites. You got a campfire. It's glorious, right? You've manifested fire. You've created it out of nothing. You've gathered your materials and then alakazam, fire, right? And then eventually that fire is going to die down and it's going to go out. You wake up in the morning, you put a bunch of dirt on it, put some water on it or whatever, right? Make sure it's out. And you put the stones back where you found them, and you sweep away all the ash and the debris and smooth it out again like you were never there. And then you keep on traveling. Get back on your horse, you keep going. And you do it again, and again, and again, and again. Yeah, and that's the Four of Wands. Now, where does that fire go once you put it out? Yeah. I feel like you have the ability to, anytime you want, to just summon fire, you know? And now's the time for you to really take all of these ideas that you have and do it. This energy is unreal, okay? Anything that you focus on now, you can manifest. And so you have all of these great ideas. You have to be able to choose one. You have to feel capable of all of them. Choose one, do it. Choose another one, do it. Choose another one, do it. Okay? Anyway, so we have our 1, 2, 3 majors. We've got fire and fire, water and water, a little bit of air. The air is in the position of the mirage, the obstacle, the fear, the worry, the concern. This is the illusion. This is the fear that's sort of flickering. And it's all that fear, all that doubt. This has no power over your life unless you believe in it. Okay? That's all the negative stuff that you could ever say to yourself or think about yourself or about other people. Okay? That is the opposite of the kindness of the Knight of Cups. This is a misery multiplier. Okay? A misery multiplier. And what you're trying to do is multiply abundance, not scarcity. Okay? So this is definitely the epitome of everything that you don't want right now. It has no control over you. The Emperor here is in the position of the battle. Okay? And I think the battle right now is for you to kind of to realize that while you do have to grow and you have to think outside of the box and life is opening up to you, I think there's going to be more and more opportunities, more and more fresh ideas, more possibilities, wide open vistas of creativity. You still need the Emperor to kind of like narrow the field and say, okay, we're just going to build right here. Okay? In other words, too many possibilities, too many options. We kind of try to do too many things at once. We spread ourselves too thin, and we don't get anything done. So the Emperor has to make that executive decision that kind of says, what are we going to do today? We could choose from a million different things. Sometimes there's anxiety there. You know, the problem, the difficulty of having too many choices. So the Emperor, I think, really is that challenge where we just kind of have to we have to pick 1 or 2 or 3, and those are the ones that we have to protect and focus on, laser focus, lock in, concentrate on a certain efforts. And I think that's how you're really going to make the progress here. That's how you're gonna multiply your abundance. Yeah. Is by picking those 1 or 2 things at a time that you're going to focus on and follow through, complete those tasks, and then do it again. So that 4 of Wands is going around and around and around. You're stacking wins. The way you're growing right now is really not through like some kind of wild and crazy, frantic sort of uncontained push. No, it's through discipline, through habit, and follow through. Okay, it's not through like just a sudden burst of energy, but it's through like repetition. Okay, you're expanding, you're growing your life, kind of one step, one day at a time, one creation, one manifestation at a time. Yeah. So the Emperor is that kind of that challenge, that test for you. Because when we're so just elated and we see so many possibilities and we have this Knight of Cups, energy that just feels such passion. It's kind of like you want to do everything. You love everything so much. You can't sit still, you can't contain yourself. This is saying we've got to contain ourselves. We've got to channel that and harness that. Well, that's part of this too. The Emperor kind of controlling the lion here, yeah. We've got to be able to channel all of that creative effort into the right avenues. Okay. And that might be the difficult thing, is for us to just kind of get serious and settle down into a particular path or plan or task or a certain project or a certain endeavor. Okay? And so we see a major contrast. I mean, it's fire and water, really. So this is kind of like, the fire that's, the emperor being that fire that's going to try to build the channel for that water to flow through. Okay? Because water can be, can get all over the place. It can flood your house. It can ruin everything. It needs to be contained. You got to keep it in the pipes, And that's the emperor's job right now, the fortified ego that says, as ecstatic as I feel, I've got to take things seriously. I've got to focus. I got to have some sort of a plan. I have to be able to, execute wise judgment and good decisions. And I've got to be able to follow through with all of this fiery, creative energy, right? And that's kind of part of our Eight of Wands underneath the surface too. Kind of bursting with creativity, bursting with ideas right now. And life is opening so much wider than you thought. There are so many things you want to do now. Whatever happened to you recently opened up all of these creative ideas. It's like you have so many things that you're passionate about. And you can do all of them. Yes, you can. Not at the same time. Okay. So this is what's crying underneath the surface for you. This is the soul position of the spread. This is like a pressure coming from inside. Something inside of you is like bursting to get out, It's your song, it's your gumbo, it's your crab curry, it's your music, it's your business, it's everything. It's your painting, it's your dance, it's you. And it's just, you're dancing around life, doing good deeds for everybody and, spreading joy everywhere you go. It's time to kind of settle down and kind of figure out, how do you want to harness that? How do you want to use that to really create something kind of lasting? Okay? So this is an internal pressure. Sometimes this is like the excitement. We got the jazz hands. We're just kind of tap dancing on the shag carpet. We're just so freaking excited for everything that it's like, I don't know what to do. It reminds me of Kelly Kapoor in The Office when it was her birthday. She was so excited that she couldn't sleep, remember? Anyway, that's a funny show. This is that excitement that is kind of pulling us in too many directions at once. It's like you have a day off and you're so excited you got a day off that you don't know what to do, and the day's over. I didn't do anything. We don't want to let that happen. We don't want to be so excited that we can't actually settle down to work on anything and accomplish anything, and then the time's up. I wonder if this is a visitation of creative energy right now that you have to take advantage of. This is a passion. I think you're somebody that wants to, in a way, you want to make everybody feel good. You want to give everybody the attention that they need and that they want. But I think you have to invoke your emperor a little bit and be the boss. Sometimes the emperor is the one that says no to a lot of things. Think of kind of a strict parent telling the kids, no, you can't do that. We're doing this. We're doing our homework now. You can't go do all these other things right now. You can do them later. Right now is this. So it's kind of like we're doing that to ourselves. We're bringing ourselves back to the focus. Okay? Trying to channel some of that energy. Now, the Sun card behind you is crazy. It's full illumination. You know exactly who you are. You know exactly why you're here. Okay? What it feels like to me, because this is the position of the chain, the link that binds you, right? The ancient story, the inherited pattern, some karmic weight. Feels like in your life you were discouraged from being noticed. You were told that children should be seen and not heard, or not seen or heard, or whatever it is, that you should turn that light down. I think that you were told in your life at some point that you should dim your shine. You're too bright. You're too smart. You're too bright. You're too energetic. You're too loud. Okay? Just be like everybody else. You don't want to stand out. Okay? You don't want to be recognized. I don't know who told you that in your life, you know? Because that kind of teaching makes us feel small and keeps us in the box. Then we realize, okay, well, it's safer if I stay in the box. It's safer if I stay small. Well, because we have the sun here now, I feel like there's a rebound here, you know? I feel like you're being louder than everybody else. I feel like you're kind of making up for lost time in a way. All the time that you spent hiding, you're saying, I got to make up for that. So you're not hiding. The pendulum has swung the other way. Okay? You're not hiding your light. You're not dimming your shine anymore. At the same time, I feel that there's still this kind of anonymous energy here, right? Like, you're somebody that still doesn't really like to be noticed. So you like doing things that you don't have to then stand there and take credit for. You know? Like you enjoy like kind of doing something nice for somebody and then like scurrying away before they can track you down and thank you, you know? So doing a lot of things without recognition, without waiting around for a thank you. You know, so there's still that kind of, you know, like anonymous kind of thing, but I feel like you're getting a little bit used to the recognition. I think you're going to become okay with it. Yeah, because in a way it's unavoidable. Once you start shining your light, it's very difficult for people not to notice. Suddenly there's a great big ball of fire in the sky. I think a lot of us are going to kind of look. We're going to say, what the heck is that thing? You know, imagine the first people that ever saw the sun. They say, what the heck is that? And sometimes with the sun, you know, it's radiating light. We can't help but feel it. Other people are going to feel that. You know, you can't selectively turn off that light. Once it's on, it's on. Yeah. So I think you kind of you're stepping into like a natural charisma. You're stepping into a confidence. You're stepping into a real like vibrant personality. You know, I don't know what changed. And as we get to a certain age and we just say, I don't care anymore, we realize at a certain point in life that we don't have to turn our light down to please our parents or guardians or teachers or whatever, that we can be ourselves. I feel like you're living loud and proud now. Okay? And I think that's great. Up above the surface, the Four of Cups is a card of luxury. Okay? It's the moon in Cancer. Feels like, to me it feels like there's a need for you to receive. Yeah. Sometimes with the Four of Cups, it's a safety. Yeah. So it's almost like there's a semi-permeable membrane around your heart where things can go out. But are you letting enough things come in? And that's kind of a question we asked with the Knight of Cups, right? You're doing a lot for other people. You're being kind to everybody. You're sending your love out. But is there enough love and affection coming in? Are you letting it come in? And that's why it was suggested that you write one desire on a piece of paper and you put it under the moonlight. Okay, the moon in Cancer. This is the Cancer power card. This is the moon in Cancer. Pick something for yourself. Write that one desire. Something for you. Not something you need, like pair of socks, toilet paper, food, water. No, something you want. Write something that you want on that piece of paper and put it out in the moonlight. Okay? Because the Four is kind of that safety. You know, this is kind of us, you know, the storm shelter. It's us being inside the box and saying, well, I got to keep my heart safe. Yeah. And I think we're getting out of the emotional comfort zone here. You're coming out of the storm shelter. You're saying, yeah, I'm going to open up my heart. I'm going to give my gift to the world, and I'm going to take whatever the world's giving back. And if some of it's not great, well, that's okay too. Not everybody is going to receive you. Not everybody's going to love what you give them. Not everybody's going to appreciate you. So I think that, you have this energy that says, I'm going to go do nice things for people, and I don't need the appreciation. I don't need the recognition. I don't need a thank you. And by establishing that, then you're protecting yourself when people don't thank you. You're not going to get upset, right? Because you weren't expecting it anyway. So when somebody just says, oh, cool, someone paid for my coffee. Ha-ha, good for me. That's not going to bother you. But when somebody says, oh my gosh, thank you so much, that was amazing, no one's ever done that for me, that is really going to make you feel good, right? So maybe we can rearrange this Four of Cups a little bit. And then you don't have to get upset at the negative reactions of people. That can be, whatever. I'm different. They didn't appreciate it. That's not why I did it anyway. You're doing things out of the goodness of your heart, not for the appreciation. So if somebody doesn't appreciate you, it's no big deal. But when they do, it is a big deal. Okay? And I think that is, that's an interesting way to look at like altruism or something, right? Or just kindness. We're not doing it for recognition, but that doesn't mean that we can't feel good when somebody is feeling good with us, You don't have to be cold when somebody tries to thank you. Just say, get away from me. Nope, I did it out of the goodness of my heart, not for the thank you. I'll be on my way. Why not just celebrate with it? Enjoy that person, Get that Six of Cups. So I think this is an interesting way for you to get out of that emotional kind of comfort zone. And in the future position, the Four of Pentacles, the physical comfort zone, this is a card that needs to expand. This is something that is kind of like saying, you know what, we have resources, let's invest those resources. You have heart, right? You've got physical resources, okay? You've got creative resources. Invest those in other people. Invest those in yourself. Dare, right? Have the courage to expand beyond your boundaries, both in love and relationships and interpersonal connections and in your creativity, right? Go beyond your borders. And then physically too, travel, get outside the house, try some different things. Experiment with different hobbies and skills and different habits. Try different food, try different exercises, go to different environments, explore places that you've never been before. Yeah. And I think you're going to find a lot of support. Yeah. The Four of Pentacles as the imago, it's the image of kind of who you're becoming, your ideal form, right? And this is the sun in Capricorn. This is somebody who realizes the power they have. It's the power to create. It's the power to build whatever kind of life you want. You can build yourself. You're the architect of yourself, your personality, and your personal reality. So this is that kind of safety, security, and stability in the physical realm that's saying, I'm responsible for this. I create my own stability. In a way, this is saying that your home, right, the Four of Pentacles, kind of that safety zone, that home, your home is wherever you want it to be, wherever you are. That's your home. Okay, so there's a courage here to sort of explore and travel and expand. Yeah. I think in a very real way, you're moving forward into a period of more financial stability. Okay, which is going to allow you more financial risk-taking, investments, to dare, to be bold. Just like with the emotional stability, giving you now the opportunity for you to expand beyond that. The fours are like these platforms. And you're building the platform because the more you build it, the higher up you get, and you can reach for the stars. You're not building a platform just to lay low, two-dimensional. No, you build the platform up. You're stacking these things up so that you can reach higher and higher and higher. Okay? When you're standing on the ladder, you're going to reach above you. Yeah? Emotionally and physically, financially. Very interesting energy for you right now. I want you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Your general energy is the lust card, the strength card. This is kind of how other people see you. Other people see you as being very bold and very, very charismatic and someone who maybe likes attention. Yeah. But I think the way you see yourself is somebody that doesn't like attention, but has the kind of, takes their life seriously and knows that they kind of have something that they have to give the world. Doing it for the attention isn't your style. Okay? That's not why you're doing it. Other people see you as somebody who's like, you're on center stage, you're in the limelight, not knowing that you are a very like private person, you know? You're shining your light with courage and strength. And I think this is really the energy that is showing your capability. And so you believe that you have the power to build this life, to create whatever this is you're creating in your life. This is the stature. This is someone who feels like they can just reach up into the night sky and pluck out a star and put it in their pocket. How many pockets? It's that belief in yourself. Yeah. And I kind of feel that back here with our sun card and previous to that, there wasn't always that kind of courage or that kind of strength. You didn't always believe in your own capabilities. Yeah. But now other people can see that. Other people can recognize kind of what you're offering the world, you know. And both of these cards are very interesting if you look at them. They're almost mirror images. They both have their hand extended. One of them is taking, one of them looks like they're giving. Okay, but in both of these cards, you can ask the question, are they giving or are they receiving? Or both, right? The giving and receiving, the courage and the strength to give and to receive. And to continue kind of expanding upon that and building things up more and more, greater and greater, having maybe a farther reach, having a greater impact on the world, taking things from local to global. Okay, the Two of Pentacles in the position of the environment, it is choices. Okay, you're going to have to make a choice of what exactly you want to commit yourself to in order to manifest and follow through with it. Okay, we got to kind of pick a direction. I think the Two is also how you respond to the ups and downs and twists and turns of life. I think that you're moving into a phase where the positive and negative reactions or events of the world aren't going to move you as much as they used to. Okay? In other words, with the Two, when the world shifts one way, you're able to keep balance by kind of shifting the other way. You know, the ups and downs and the twists and turns of life, you're able to stay centered. So this card's all about how you react and respond to the world around you. If somebody doesn't appreciate you or criticizes you or receives you negatively, do you get thrown off balance? Or are you able to kind of, shift your weight and stay upright? Yeah. When somebody praises you and thanks you or recognizes you, for your gift or for what you're doing, right? Does that throw you off balance? Does that make you feel so overwhelmed by that praise that you lose all sense of integrity and all sense of self, No, I think you have the four. You have the Emperor, which is the fourth mystery of the tarot. You have a lot of stability right now. When people criticize you, you're stable. When people praise you and love you, you're stable. And I think that means that the negativity can roll off your back. The positivity, you can engage with it. You can connect with it. You can celebrate. You can experience joy and pleasure without losing your focus or your discipline, without losing your stability. Okay. The card that the mirage, I guess, the card we don't want is the Nine of Swords. We don't want the cruelty. We can't, this is the mirage here, is saying that we can't handle negativity. We can't handle being criticized. And so what do? Well, back here, we end up not doing anything significant because I don't want to draw attention to myself because I don't want any negative attention. I don't want people to criticize me because I can't handle the criticism. I can't handle anybody who has something negative to say, or maybe who like doesn't respond to my gestures, so I'm going to hide. I don't know where we learned that or who taught you that, but this is the mirage. This is the illusion. Okay? The illusion, I think, is that that you can't handle the world. Okay? The lie is that you are not strong enough to shine your light, and everything that's going to imply. When you put your CD out, or your music, or I guess, I don't know if people still use CDs, when you put your music up on SoundCloud or YouTube or something, people are going to look at it. People can see it. People can say almost whatever they want about it. The lie is that, the lie is that no one's going to like it. The lie is that you don't have anything worthwhile to show the world. The lie is that you're not going to be able to handle the criticism, and so you're better off just hiding it away, not showing anybody. Those are the lies. Okay? And your destiny here is for you to manifest. We have Venus in Aries here. The destiny, right, that's the shape of what wants to happen. That's the next page waiting to be written in your codex. It's an invitation. Step toward it and it becomes yours. Manifest your will. Take your idea and put it on paper. Put it on YouTube. Build it into something real. Light that fire. Put the stones around. Assemble the physical materials and light that fire. And that fire is going to attract friends that want to come and share a meal with you. That fire might attract, I don't know, robbers out there in you're in the wild, wild west. Might attract some unwanted people. The fire can keep away predators. Maybe it keeps the bugs away sometimes, right? And so it's kind of a beacon of light. Yeah. But it's the manifestation of your will, your creativity, your idea, of your essence. You are the fire that's manifesting. Yeah. Anyway, let's look at the mystery card. What is this going to be? Gosh, I don't know. Probably some more creative energy. I don't know if it's going to be maybe the Empress to go with our Emperor. Maybe it's going to be, I guess it could be the Death card to go with you, Scorpio, your power card. It could be your other power card, the King of Cups. Let's see what we have. Oh, it's the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, yes, yes, yes. The abundance multiplier. You live in lavish. Look at you. The 9, right? The 9 is now, instead of multiplying misery, you're multiplying abundance. And this is this is something that keeps on growing and growing and growing. This is something that's working on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. Physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative. Yeah. This is progress. This is infinite growth. This is a machine. This is a 9. It's a verb. It's a function. It's an odd number. So it's a process rather than a state. Yeah. And this is you're traveling that road of abundance and success. Campfire after campfire after campfire. So it's the wheel that's going around. It's a cycle. Actually, it's your spiral road. Yeah. The assembling, the fire, the disassembling, and the moving forward, and then the assembling, and the fire, and the disassembling again, and around and around and around. This is your creative process. This is the process of manifestation for you. This is somebody who is living a successful life. Yeah. So I feel that life is really opening up. Possibilities are opening up. There are no limits, except you have to enforce some sort of boundaries for yourself so you can actually get things done. Okay? This is growth. This is abundance multiplying because you believe that it can. Okay? I love this. Now, the transmission will continue beyond the gate. In the extended reading, we'll cast an I Ching hexagram, we'll draw from an oracle, we'll open a new cluster of keys from the codex. If you feel called to continue, the path is open. There's a link in the corner here. There's a link in the video description there. New transmissions for Scorpio, Mondays and Thursdays. So be sure to watch both. Subscribe if you haven't yet. It aligns your signal with the dove current and ensures your next page in the codex will find you. Leave a comment and let me know where along the spiral road you're watching from. It helps us to map the resonance of the temple. I want you to remember you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. The codex reveals itself through you. I thank you and I love you, and we are all walking this path together.